Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids and we're back for some more Mardek, and of course last time we made it through all of these side areas of the Fire Temple, or at least so it seemed. We went through here, 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 and here. So now we have this top room remaining, which, based on what we saw in the previous temples, would suggest that this might be the place where we'd run into the Guardian, followed by, of course, the crystal itself. However, before we go through there, let's double check what we have down here, because remember, we had the Fire Miasmal Chalice, which was, well, something we were trying to save up for. It is still grayed out right now. So let's see how close we are to being able to fill this up right now. And it is 98% full. We're making quite a habit of that, it seems. Weren't we at 99% when we checked on the Water Miasmal Chalice previously? So that, I would think, would suggest that, say, just doing one more battle should be enough, right? So let's go through here and just try to run into one battle and then fill up that chalice so we can take it. And I thought that you could run into battles here, but maybe we just go here as well. Also, like, where are the enemies in this temple? They seem to have disappeared. We kind of need to have precisely one battle, and that'll do the trick. Here we go. Okay. So we have one fire elemental and a couple of rubies. And Sin Strike, I think we found, was quite effective against mostly the rubies? To a certain extent, the fire elementals, but let's go for the rubies. Okay, and Vern. I think we found this was actually a bit tricky for you to take these guys out, because they do have high defense. Fire Elemental, it's 20. Ruby, it's 37. However, the thing is, I think we're making a point of using Sin Strike on the Fire Elemental and then having Vern follow up with the Smite Evil there, and that was enough to take out the Fire Elemental. Obviously, we didn't target the Fire Elemental with that Sin Strike there. So Vern, we kind of might have left you high and dry here. Let's use the Smite Evil, though, on maybe the Ruby this time, see how that does. And that is not quite enough. There's the Fire Elemental's turn, and fortunately we hit the reaction, so 0 damage there, no problem. Bubble Breath, though, could definitely take someone out. Let's do that. Rubies go next. Probably should have targeted that other Ruby then, in that case, but no damage done, so no problem. Then Mardek. Is a Water Slash enough? I know in the past we saw you targeting some high defense enemies with just a normal water attack, and that was not enough, so Water Slash maybe will do the trick. Definitely. And then Zack, another Sin Strike I think will definitely be enough. And it's actually enough for you to level as well. Okay, and get a Ruby, no less. Sure thing. So let's head back, because that would suggest that now we are at 100% the Miasmal Chalice, so we should be able to take it now. So if we go back down here, it should no longer be grayed out. That is the case. So this is an object called the Miasmal Chalice. When you defeat monsters in this temple, their dark essence is added to this chalice, filling it with 100 essences, and you can take it as your own. And the chalice is now full to the brim, with the dark miasma of slain monsters. It is now yours. So if we just take a quick look at our plot items, we will see that we now have the Miasmal Chalice, fire, rather morbid ancient artifact, full to the brim with the essence of monsters. It exudes a sense of fury. So we now have fire, dark, and water, so we're creating quite a collection here. As for what exactly we will use that collection for, we'll just have to wait and see. So, that does now mean that I'm pretty sure the only room we have left to explore in this fire temple would be that one up to the north there. So, if the previous temples are any indication, like I was saying, that does suggest that we are about to fight a Guardian, and if that is the case, then maybe let's take a look at our inventory, and maybe even our party, because remember, back when we were at the Water Temple, we were talking about how there was a skill in particular that the Water Guardian had called Water Inversion that made it so that if you loaded up on your water resistances, then it would actually deal additional damage to you. So, that was a way in which to prevent people from just loading up on a ton of water resistances in a fight where you would expect to take a bunch of water damage. And, well, minor spoilers here, I suppose, but yeah, that's going to be a bit of a common theme across all the Guardians. So, I think having 50% fire resistance on people like Mardek and Legion is probably alright. With their fire magic defensive reactions, that does mean that they'll be at 100% damage reduction, at least for magic. They'll still take half damage from physical attacks, but I think that's enough that we can make that work. However, Zack with 160% fire resistance, if the Fire Guardian were to, say, use Fire Inversion there, I think there's no way you could possibly survive that. And then Burn with 100% fire resistance, he might be toast as well. So that probably means we'll want to do some gear swapping for you two. And we did just see Zach leveled up, so we might have a little bit more RP to spend as well. And what does that mean? I think that means that definitely no Flame Mail. That much is for certain, because this is the primary source of all that fire resistance. What do we put on in its place? We do still have a little bit of fire resistance coming from the Dragon Blood Charm. Only 20% though, and remember that Zach is an air elemental character, meaning that he starts off with minus 20% fire resistance, and therefore this is basically just getting him to 0 on neck. So we probably do still want to throw on a fire pendant, and we'll replace the Snake Stone. Yeah, that's probably okay for now. Does mean that we're still looking for a new chest plate for Zach though, and what would we want to put on in that spot? This is actually a heavy armor here, the iron armor, and I don't think Zach can equip that. He can only equip medium armor and lower. I think he's the only character that fits that description. So that means that some of the big ones that we picked up recently, like the iron armor, and I think also the Salakian plate mail, neither of those Zach will be able to equip. What about, say, something like maybe even a trilobite armor? Obviously, we got this back in Chapter 2, but it does teach the powerful resist water skill, and he hasn't mastered that yet, so you know, there's something to be said for that. It does put him above 100% water resistance, but I think that'll be fine for the Fire Guardian. A little bit of HP as well. The 5 defense is something, it's not a ton, but that could probably do the trick. And then let's see where that leaves us for Vern as well. He's still going to be at 100% fire resistance. We haven't changed anything there. And I think that is largely because if we take a look at his skills, remember that Vern was the first person to use that Flame Mail, and he has mastered Resist Fire. So this is so powerful because what this means is he can have 50% fire resistance even when he doesn't have any fire-specific items equipped. So we could say, go back to the inventory, take off the fire pendant, has nothing fire-related on at the moment. Has he mastered this fire resistance magic defensive reaction as well? Oh, not quite though. Ooh, okay. That does stink, because what we'd love to have would be for him to have the fire passive skill mastered. That way we don't have to have the Flame Mail on, and have mastered this defensive reaction too. That way, don't need the Flame Mail, don't need the fire pendant. We have complete flexibility with what Vern wears, and yet we still have access to all those fire defensive layers. So that does mean that we're probably going to have to keep on the fire pendant, and that means that, well, he's going to be sitting at 100% fire resistance. So as much as we were making a point of mastering resist fire with him, I think we actually do take it off here, in the interest of leaving this on. That way, Vern is in the same place that other people are, where he has 50% fire resistance, but everyone should have the magic fire defensive reaction on. So that means that, at least for fire spells, no damage taken. So I think that's the way we go. And then, with regard to other things on Vern, are we okay with you keeping on the Snake Mail? That's probably alright. And then, the helmets, I think there's nothing major to swap over there. The rune shields, we've had these on both Vern and Mardek for a while now, and yes, you have mastered the new magic defensive reaction there. That might be worth exploring, switching something else on in its place, because we do have both Shield of Light and the Shield of Darkness. And just to do a quick comparison here, 3 defense, 3 magic defense, 1 spirit, and a little bit of resistances, either for dark or for light. Nothing in the way of spirit, nothing in the way of resistances of any variety. Not sure that dark or light's going to be terribly relevant here, but it does still seem like these 2 shields are maybe a little bit better. So we'll throw these on, I think. Okay. And then the last thing I think we ought to do is make a point of perhaps loading up on potions and whatnot, because in the past we saw that when we did not remember to load up on things like Phoenix Downs and healing potions, then we saw that that was, well, not a great situation that we got in on a few occasions. Oh, actually, Solar's hogging all the Phoenix Downs, so what if we say throw those on... Legion has 2, well, Vern only has 1, so let's dump some there. And we'll give... Zach has 3, okay. Now everyone should be in a decent place. Okay. And then other than that, I was thinking just some health potions as well. Some mugwort juices, so I believe these are 500 health? Yeah. So that's pretty solid. It's no longer enough to, say, fully heal someone for the most part, but it's a pretty solid amount. And so, let's see, Legion only has 2, Vern has 3, Zach actually has 5, so let's throw this last one on Legion. And of course, Mardek can heal, so a little bit less necessary on him. And I think we've done a pretty decent job of spreading out those balloon juices, and that is significant, because it seems like every fire enemy can inflict numb. Okay, So that makes me feel a little bit better about that. Let's also just do a quick check on Zach's side, because Zach did level up recently, so might have some new RP. And after taking off the Flame Mail, does now mean that we have a lot of room to throw on additional passive skills, because Zach did not have time to master that fire resistance on the Flame Mail, only recently put that on. We could throw on Resist Water, which maybe in the short term is not terribly irrelevant, but long term would be nice to have more of that available to us. Does mean he also has a little bit more room for something else. Say something like +1 agility. Yeah, okay. Then why don't we drop a quick save and then we'll head on over. Okay, and like I said, I'm expecting a Fire Guardian. Totally fine. A very dramatic room. And one NPC up here, who is, oh my god, what the heck is that? I am the guardian of the Fire Temple. It is my duty to protect the Fire Crystal from interlopers. But it is also my duty to accept a fair challenge against any who wish to take the crystal's power as their own. Defeat me in combat, and you shall win your prize. But, you know, never mind the fact that, you know, being able to conquer the Fire Guardian perhaps means that you would be extremely dangerous with the Fire Crystal. No, that's beside the point. Well, we don't want to fight you, Holy Crystal Guardian, since you're just doing your rightful job, but if we must, we'll win, because we're great. Come on! Thanks, Mardek. We shall see if your skills live up to your words, human. Okay. Fire Guardian, here we go. It is big. It is ginormous, in fact. And there's Inversion Fire immediately. And the damage is a lot. I missed the reaction, which is actually quite bad, because that is probably his most powerful skill. Fortunately, did miss on the physical attack against Zach. That would have been troublesome as well. So let's take a look. He is a Guardian, and, I mean, is he a dragon? Sort of? Kind of? I mean, technically, Guardian, not Dragon, yes, but that's beside the point. Anyways, high strength, high spirit, high agility did go first, and I don't think anyone was close. 40 attack means that likely if Zach did get hit with that physical attack at the very beginning, he might have been a goner. 10 defense, which is a reasonable amount, does still mean we'll be able to deal some damage with physical attacks, but a little less than we would with magic, because 0 magic defense. Not so surprisingly, ton of fire resistance, ton of water weakness, also 100% air resistance actually, and some to earth as well. Fair bit to light and a little bit of weakness to dark. Fair bit of ether resistance and nothing in the way of Fig, so I believe that Gem Explosion on Legion is still on Fig Elemental right now, so that's not a bad idea. Also, not sure we have any ways to inflict poison right now, but that could theoretically be an option with only 20% poison resistance. So, Zach, if you go first here, what I'm wondering is maybe if we do coup de grace, of course this is the one that gets more powerful the longer the fight goes, and I would expect this to be a fairly long fight, so it won't be that powerful at the very beginning, but perhaps in the future, it does also allow you to leech up a bit. Well, there is a reaction, and it's burn, and I missed it. Man, gotta get my reaction game back on point. Then, burn, we saw that light is not terribly effective, but actually air is even less effective, and your default attacks are air elemental right now because you're using the air pulse and scimitar. So I think that probably means we're using Smite Evil here, even if you're not an evil enemy per se, you're not dark elemental, just to get it to be a light elemental attack. And when you have a reaction for burn as well, you will at least hit that one, but oh man, you numbed him. That's not good. So, Bubble Breath, maybe even Tsunami. I mean, Tsunami normally you'd use because it hits all targets, whereas Bubble Breath only hits one. I actually don't know if Bubble Breath is more or less damage than Tsunami. If anything, I would expect Tsunami to be more damage. Gem Explosion also is Fig Elemental, but I think that's probably not quite as good as Water because, as we saw, of course, a lot of water weakness here. So let's go for a Bubble Breath, and we might still find that he has a reaction to this, or we might not. I think oftentimes people have more reactions to physical attacks than they do magic attacks, but only one way to know for certain. Oh, I missed that reaction too. And in any reaction, seemingly. Yes, the reaction is a Fire Breath, so maybe you hit him with magic, he reacts with magic, you hit him with physical attacks, he reacts with physical attacks, that would make some sense. So Mardek, it would be really nice to use a Water Slash with you. That would probably be our primary way of dealing damage, yes, however, we do kind of very much need to heal right now, so I think we make a point of doing that. Because that was still the after effects of that inversion skill that the Guardian used at the very beginning. Okay, actually not terribly powerful, but did reduce a bunch of strength on that attack, and Raging Inferno, 0 damage, would have been another one of the Guardian's strongest attacks there. However, with that very high fire resistance and actually hitting the reaction that time meant that nobody took any damage at all, so that's awesome. That's basically what we were preparing for, and we did in fact see that Legion learned that ability there. So, that's another big pickup. Zac, coup de grace, should be getting more and more powerful each turn, yes, so remember, reaction incoming. Oh, except maybe it's not guaranteed. Maybe there's only a probability of it happening. Okay, Vern, you are still numb. I'm thinking it is probably worthwhile for you to say use a balloon juice early, get you back in the action as soon as possible. Even if you weren't necessarily our strongest offensive character in this specific fight, then Bubble Breath, if we hit the reaction here, should be a little bit more damage this time around. Will we get a reaction this time? Yes, we will. But still, as long as we hit the reaction of our own, no damage taken. Mardek, you probably could go with the Water Slash this time. However, do we want to be a little bit more proactive on the defensive side and say throw on a magic shield or a physical shield? And if so, on whom? And that's a very good question. I think Mardek might actually be our most powerful character because he does have the Water Slash, which I think is going to be best. But Legion, you're actually somewhat hurt here. Why don't we throw on a physical shield on Legion? Because remember, as long as those magic abilities are fire elemental, then you shouldn't be taking too much damage from that. Ooh, except those strength reductions do of course mean that long term our physical attacks are not going to be quite as strong, so that's not a great sign. Crescendo Slash, let's get back at it. And any reaction this time? Yes. Zac, he is of course immune to numbness, so as long as we hit those reactions, I think he's pretty much safe from anything bad happening to him. Although that time, didn't we see in the past that it was a physical attack that the Guardian was reacting with when we used a physical attack of our own? And that time he used magic, so maybe it's totally random. Vern, you are no longer numbed, so you could go back to using Smite Evil. Maybe even Green Lightning, but I think we saw that the Fire Guardian did have, well, also 50% resistance to that, so take your pick. Vern, has your strength gone down yet? No, it is not. As for other people, neither has Zac's, but Legion's definitely has. Mardek's has as well. Legion, it's probably not a huge deal because we can use spells with you, but Mardek, we definitely are going to want to use that Water Slash at some point. So it might be a case of the sooner the better, rather than going the defense first route that we were starting off with, because otherwise the longer we wait, the lower his strength is going to be. So, why don't we go with Smite Evil on you, Vern? It is still your turn, not Mardek, so we'll then head ourselves here. Reaction here? Oh man, just missed that. And yes, another numb on Vern. In the grand scheme of things, probably the person least of a concern to get numbed, because the Smite Evil is not our most powerful attack here, like we were saying before. There's another reaction, but again, no problem. Hit the reaction of our own, no damage. So Mardek, what I'm saying is, it might make sense for you to deliberately focus on Water Slashing here. Yes, I think so. Okay, normal attack, he misses. Burn on Mardek. Hit the reaction, no damage. So that was quite good in that case. Crescendo Slash, I mean, eventually, it'll get strong. It's just not quite there yet. 400 damage, it's starting to get somewhere, perhaps. Vern, you are once again numb. So I think probably apply another balloon juice here. You know what? Or we could actually turn you into a bit of a healer here and say use a Mugwort juice on Legion. That might actually be more valuable because Legion is dealing consistently a fair bit more damage than you are, and this allows Mardek to stay offensive rather than using Mardek to heal when he's our other strong offensive character. Okay. Now Legion, you can go. We could opt for a Tsunami just to see how much damage it is, but I feel like we probably want to stick with the Bubble Breath for now, because it is half the MP, and Legion, as we saw previously, does not have a lot of MP. Mardek, let's also use Water Slash with you. So yeah, I think Mardek is still doing about twice as much damage as Legion, if not more. So getting him numbed is not good, and missing that reaction is also not good. Those are actually physical, not fire elemental attacks there, meaning that we had less resistance to those. So that's not a good sign. Crescendo Slash, yes, we can try that out. And it is approaching 500 damage now. Needed to hit that reaction, otherwise Zac was going to go down. And Vern, once again, you are still numbed. However, once again, it's probably going to make sense for you to heal rather than use a balloon juice, unless you make a point of using it on Mardek. So this is a tricky one. We want to remove the numbness on Mardek so that Mardek can use his Water Slash. We also want to heal people. The problem is, that takes 3 turns. 1 to remove the numbness on Mardek, one to use that Water Slash on Mardek, and another to heal. And so that means that if we look at our turn order here for a second, we could say remove the numbness with Burn. We could heal with Legion and then attack with Mardek. Or would we rather heal with Burn and then remove the numbness on Legion? Why don't we go that route, because I'm not sure. Well, we should have the Mugwort juices on just about everyone, so it shouldn't matter too much here. Let's use the Balloon Juice on Mardek now then. Legion, you'll be on healing duty, which is still not perfect because Legion, yes, you are our second strongest offense character here. Who would we like to keep up most? Would it be prioritizing Zac or prioritizing Burn? Because unfortunately, when we're using items, we can only use them on one person at a time. That is one disadvantage to having people use items to heal rather than having Mardek use his own healing abilities. I think the answer is Zac. He was dealing more damage than Burn, I think. And then we can use the Water Slash here, so we keep the damage on. And we're at roughly half HP for the Fire Guardian now. Oh, and Mardek does still get numbed. That's not good. And, man, reaction seems slower that time. In my defense, the timing has been inconsistent, seemingly, but I missed that one too. So now, once again, we have Mardek numbed, and it might be worth even using Zac now as a bit more of a support character to heal and or remove that numbness. I think we probably want to... Why don't we go remove the numbness on Mardek with you, Zac? Okay, now Mardek's fine. Then Vern, you could either heal yourself or remove the numbness on yourself. I think healing is probably better, because then we can continue to use you as a bit of a support character, but we're using Vern so often with items that it's going to run out somewhat soon. Legion, though, alright, yeah, actually, you probably do need to heal Mardek of all people. He does have a lot of HP, yes, but we missed a reaction with him, and it is imperative that we keep him up. So, if we were to say Water Slash again, keep on the damage, and the numbness, yes, happens as well. It hit that reaction though, so fortunately, at least Mardek doesn't take any damage. This time, oh, Zac misses that one. Able to dodge it, so thankfully, no damage taken there. Mardek still numbed. I think the answer in that case is still to use a Balloon Juice on Mardek, perhaps with Zac. Burn, that does give you a little bit of flexibility. I suppose maybe it would have been preferable to use the Balloon Juice with Burn. It's just that I'm trying not to have Burn use the potions every time, because otherwise, yeah, he only has 2 Balloon Juices remaining, and not much in the way of Mugwort Juice either. So, what does that mean we do with you here, Vern? Could throw on a Beer Elixir, actually, to give people some shields. That might be a good option for, say, Mardek, and just have Mardek be a one-man army. You know, I think we might go for that. Beer Elixirs are very strong and very rare, so I'm reluctant to just throw them away willy-nilly, but you know, this is probably an important enough battle for us to make a point of doing that. So that does mean that Legion, you can actually go back to using offensive skills here, so Bubble Breath. Put the pressure back on the Fire Guardian here. Will it react to you? Yes, but we hit our reaction, so no problem. Mardek, keep on Water Slashing, man. We're getting closer now. And there we have the Magic Shield there. I mean, if we hit our reaction, it doesn't matter much, but... And now Zac's strength is going down. Oh, Inversion Fire, I missed the reaction again. Oh no, that's a problem. Bad time to miss that reaction. It lowers Zac down to 59 HP, notably. So, what do we do here? We heal Zac. I think that is probably the most pressing thing. Burn is also quite low, but not quite as low. Burn, you could heal yourself here, but that would be your last Mugwort Juice, which I'm somewhat reluctant to use here. You do still have some better potions, for sure. That's 200 HP restored, so not quite as powerful, or on the more extreme side, 2,000 HP on a Fig Juice. Let's try getting away with just a better potion, see if this works. And we perhaps might have been better off, in fact, even prioritizing healing Legion, but we're getting close here. Fire Guardian at what should be 7,000 HP now, and then with a Mardek Water Slash, should be even lower still, but we're on somewhat low HP ourselves. Uses Mega Barrier, actually, and then a Blaze against Zac. Fortunately hit our reaction there, so no damage taken. But the Guardian does now have a physical and magic shield, so we'll deal less damage. Zac, you could probably use this turn to heal as well. So if you were to Mugwort Juice, who ought you use that on? I think the answer is probably Legion. Then Burn. means that you're in a similar place where you can't do too much right now. You could use the balloon juice to finally get rid of the numb on yourself. Might be a reasonable time to do that, actually. Or even just a better potion on Zack, because Zack has seemingly been a little bit more important than you. Sorry, Vern. Legion is running out of MP. Can use Bubble Breath now, but after that he will be on 7 and won't be able to do anything with 7 MP, so we can use this here, yes, but, well, also less damage, remember, with the magic shield, so I was gonna say we're getting very close, but not like we're about to take this guy out, since taking half damage from those skills there. Reaction, okay. Oh, no, I was gonna say no damage at least, but okay. Vern takes that hit. Legion takes this one. And 2,600 or so HP here. How are we looking? Vern is in rough shape. Mardek is still numbed. Do we still have balloon juices to use on him? Yes, we could, but it would be Zack's last balloon juice. I think Vern is running out as well. Might also have one remaining. But I think we probably want to make sure that either Vern or Zack is applying that, because otherwise it's going to have to be Legion, and Legion, of course, is our other strongest offensive character. So let's do this. And then with Vern, you could either heal yourself, or you could actually use one of your offensive skills here for the first time in a very long time. How much of a difference would that make? It would help, yes. How much? Maybe not that much. Could actually tell you what. I think the best thing to do is to use a Mana Berry or an Ether on Legion to get some MP back so that Legion can use another Bubble Breath on its turn, because otherwise it's not going to have enough. So let's do that. Now Legion, no problem, go back to Bubble Breathing. Okay. Any reactions this time? No. Oh, I forgot that Mardek is still numbed. Oh dear. Okay, that's bad. Because that means there goes our best offensive skill for this round. But, that means, Mardek, you could use the balloon juice on yourself. You probably have more balloon juice remaining than anyone else at this point, so yeah, I think we do more or less have to go that route, unfortunately. Not much else Mardek can do there, other than put on shields, but that's probably still second priority. And fortunately, Fire Guardian uses some of its weaker skills there, so got a little bit off easy that time. Now, Zack, you could also perhaps go offense here. Mostly just talking about Vern being a little bit weak on the HP, but that's not a terribly significant concern right now. So for that reason, do we need to remove numbness on anyone? If so, then we should do that right now, but I don't think so. Mardek is fine, so we will use Smite Evil here, and it's just a tiny bit of damage, but we're getting close now. No reaction either. So if we were to Bubble Breath and then also use a Water Slash, that might be enough here. It's going to be really close, I think. 1,349 is the number to beat. And we fall just shy of that. So, Fire Guardian will take one more set of turns here, in addition to reacting and inflicting a numb on Mardek. Okay, no damage taken. We hit our reaction on Fire Breath. Blaze also resisted that. So I think we might be in the clear here in that case. Crescendo Slash. Will it do the trick? Will it be enough? Yes, it will. Fire Guardian down. Okay, we get a Fire Fang, whatever that is, it sounds dramatic, another Ruby, and some Fire Essence, which I suppose is rather fitting. The battle is won. You fought well. Your skills are admirable, and your heart true. It is not with regret that I now let you pass and take possession of this most holy and potent of artifacts, but with confidence that you will save this world from a horrendous threat. I mean, never mind the fact that, we are a tremendous threat because we're capable of taking out the Fire Guardian. Isn't that kind of the whole point, is you're trying to stop those people from taking the crystal? I don't know, seems a little counterintuitive to me, but I will fade now. I must convert to energy to restore my own vitality for a while. We will not meet again. Oh. Yeah, you weren't kidding. Okay. Sure thing. Now, if we, say, head in through here, the crystal room of the Fire Temple. What if we just, say, nab the crystal?
This one is the Fire Crystal, the second so far. It is an amazing thing to have come into possession of two of this world's most powerful and important relics. We'll never get them all, though. The more we collect, the more likely something catastrophic will happen to stop us.
Zach's like, I have no comment.
Yet another of Yalort's magnificent crystals. Truly, we are blessed by him.
We are making good progress, but there are still crystals left to gather. Come along.
So we have now pocketed the fire crystal. And, well, nothing else in here other than, say, if we just take a look at our plot items. We will now find that we have the fire crystal Belfan,
An artifact of the gods. It is essentially crystallized elemental energy and one of the planet's organs of a sort. This particular crystal is the source of all heat and fire on Belfan, so handle it with care.
okay? And if we make our way out of here, yeah, things are looking rather dull and lifeless. So, we've kind of seen this type of thing before. Oh, what is this?
Damn it all! If we hadn't split up, we wouldn't have had all that messing about with trying to reunite again, and we would have been here first. Whose stupid idea was that? Ugh.
Wasn't it your idea?
Anyway, that's not important now. What's important is that they're weakened from that battle that we just watched them fight. So now is our chance. We must attack and take the crystal that is rightfully ours. Give it to us your hardest, petty soldier.
What? Excuse me? World Savior's fighting us immediately after the Fire Guardian? That's no fair. These guys trying to take advantage of our current situation, trying to swipe the fire crystal from us. So, yes, it does appear as though this is a full-blown battle with, of course, enemies that we've had one or two run-ins with in the past. So, let's take a look at where things currently stand with them. So there's, of course, Bartholomew, the leader of sorts of the group, and based on what we saw previously, we probably want to attack him last or close to last, because remember that he's a hard hitter, yes, with physical attacks. However, he's very inaccurate, so for the most part, I think we want to wait it out with him. Venny is the guy who's going to apply all the status effects, so he is very quick, went first there. This is the other person we're probably going to want to wait to take out until at or near the end. First priority is probably going to be Aelia here, because she is the healer, so the sooner we can get rid of her, the less we're going to have our opponent's healing. Probably makes sense to take her first then. Then lastly, we have Bernard here, who's going to be the primary, or at least most consistent source of damage. So he's probably going to be priority number 2. So if we're targeting Aelia first and foremost, the answer for her is pretty much just not light and not dark. Other than that, physical, magical attacks, roughly the same. It's not much in the way of clear-cut answers as to how best to target her. For that reason, I think we probably go for more crescendo slashing here with Zach. And remember that we did not have the chance to heal at all in between fights, so Vern is still on low HP. Mardek is still numbed, notably. And Legion's still low on MP. People are not looking great right now, so World Saviors, yes, you did pick a very good time to pick a fight with us. Vern, I'm thinking that maybe we do make a point of using this here to remove the numbness on Mardek, and then that was a very well-timed attack there that I honestly did not know if we were going to hit the reaction on. Then, but we didn't. Then Legion, where we could bring back Vern. He was on low HP before. You're not looking so great yourself. We could say, do something like throw on, I don't know, a tsunami, try to hit everyone. Or we could bring Vern back quickly and tell you what, Vern would have been very helpful for using a Smite Evil on Bernard, because Bernard is weak to light, what with him being Dark Elemental, and that also means that Smite Evil does more damage to him. He does have 2,700 HP, which is a lot, so I'm not sure that Vern would have been able to break through that in one turn, but now he also has a physical shield on that Aelia put, so yeah, we would like to have Vern back. I think let's make a point of doing that now. Okay, so Vern's back, but low HP still, so somewhat vulnerable here. Mardek, you are next. I think we do need to do a group-wide heal. Otherwise, we are going to be in a fair bit of trouble. Then next, poison Zach. Zach will take damage from that poison. And we do have the crescendo slash going here, so I think we try to build off that momentum. Aelia does fortunately seemingly have the lowest HP, and we've already damaged her once. But with that physical shield, it's going to take a little while longer. And now she's going to put on magic shield for everyone. Except for Thalio? No, okay, he does have one. For some reason, didn't look like I saw the animation on him specifically, but anyways. The Smite Evil, I think that is probably a Bernard-specific thing. Let's see how much damage we can do with it. Still not enough. It is a reasonable amount. Oh, and he has a reaction. He curses Burn there, and then uses Immolate, which something tells me that would have dealt a ton of damage, but we did fortunately hit the reaction. That meant that we took 0 fire damage between 50% fire resistance and the 50% resistance added on to that with the reaction. Legion. What do we do here? How do we target these guys? Do we make a point of continuing to target Aelia? Do we want to heal a little bit on someone like Vern or remove that curse? Perhaps we do. Do we have any holy waters on you? We do. Okay. So Vern is on low HP. So, quite frankly, might get taken out before he gets the chance to go next, but maybe we'll make a point of healing again on Mardek. This is unfortunate because Mardek now is out of MP, and I was gonna say, is becoming one of our strongest offensive characters, so to have MP purely in a support role is a bit of a handicap. Zack is becoming more powerful, though, turn by turn with Crescendo Slash, so that's something. Except... oh no. Healing everyone now, Aelia is. And in the 300 to 400s, and Aelia is still damaged, yes, but not nearly as damaged as she was before, so this is getting a bit concerning. Vern, not sure what else you can do other than just smiting evil over and over again on Bernard, and we hope that he doesn't react this time, but something tells me he probably will. He does, and does reapply the curse. So for that reason, again, they immolate, and again, we hit the reaction, fortunately. Ooh, Bartholomew did hit that time, meant that he dealt a ton of damage, and that poison might actually be enough to take out Zack on his next turn. So again, that probably means we would want to heal with Mardek on his next turn. He's out of MP, let's make a point of restoring that here. This is not looking great, I'll be honest with you guys. We, well, probably do need to heal, like I said, with Mardek. But what with all those shields that they put on, they have a bit more of a sustainable setup than we do right now. Zack, fortunately, did survive because we did heal him. Coup de grace, not coup de grace, rather, Crescendo Slash is the way that we're going to ultimately try to take out Aelia. But we need to break through that shield first. Regen on everyone? Oh no. Now they're healing every turn as well? That's what I mean. Between the shields, the regen, now they have much more things that are carrying over from one round to the next compared to us, so that's going to be a bit of an issue, I think. Vern, you are cursed right now, so you cannot do any skills. Is there anything else we'd like you to do instead? Could use something like an Alchemist Fire if we want to just go pure offense on someone like Aelia. Might not be a bad idea. I mean, to a certain extent, she's already done her damage, having put on all those boosting statuses on her friends. But I think we probably still want to get rid of her so that she doesn't continue to heal people. So, I'm not sure how much damage this Alchemist Fire is going to do to her. She doesn't have any fire resistance, so there is that. Maybe we give this a shot in that case? Let's see what it does. 271 is something, but not a ton. Glaciate's going to be a problem. If it wasn't on Zack. He actually had the Childbite armor there, so he healed, burned almost down. So Zack heals the water, but everyone else, I think, has water weakness because we were using the fire pendants. So that was actually crucial that he happened to choose Zack. Other than that, Legion, Vern is looking really bad right now, but should we heal him or should we instead go offensive here? And I think the answer is, well, how is Aelia looking? That's the primary concern here. And who goes after you? Mardek does. Mardek might actually be able to take a turn to do something offensive if we were to, say, heal Vern here. So I think we make a point of doing that then. So let's use your last Mugwort Juice. Or maybe even, what if we were to use a Noxious Bomb on someone like Aelia? Use that to apply a poison and maybe even confusion, so that she's taking some damage that way. That's tempting. We should have done that earlier, I think. She is now poisoned, and that's at the very least countering her regen ability, but that's a bit of a long-term investment that, like I said, we should have done earlier on. We could, of course, apply some regens ourselves, but we can only do that one person at a time. Same with the shields. Same with the magic shields, and that's why Aelia is actually, in some ways, more powerful than Mardek. We probably do still want to heal Vern here, though. Even if he's not doing too much when he's cursed. Benny, that's fine, which is a normal attack there. And Zach, Crescendo Slash, again, I think it dealt 300 damage last time. This time, 363. Making some progress there. And yes, the poison is dealing more damage than the regen is healing. However, Aelia spends a turn to heal everyone, so that's why we still want to get rid of her, even if she's put on all the shields and whatnot. So, Burn, like we were saying, it's tough to do much with you. I mean, you do still have more Alchemist Fire, so we could go that route if we wanted to. We could remove the poison on Zach, which is something. It's not super helpful, but it's perhaps saving a turn on Mardek, either removing that poison or healing him. So that's not a terrible idea. Or MP, does anyone need that? Not terribly. So tell you what, I think we might actually want to take a turn to remove your curse, if in fact you still have any holy waters for him, which I'm not sure you do, come to think of it. You do have a remedy, which could remove any and all status effects, and I don't love to use that because it is so powerful, but I think this is one of those occasions when it is necessary. Immolate, again, hit the reaction, so fortunately no damage there. Bartholomew, when you hit, it hurts. And you did hit there. So Legion, I think you actually can use an offensive skill here, in which case we want to use something on either Aelia specifically, or something to take out everyone simultaneously. Not that we're going to take everyone out in one hit, but damage everyone, I should say. And in which case, what is the best element to use? Because Raging Inferno would be fire, Tsunami would be water, Thunderstorm would be air, and... okay. Not Earth, well, we don't have any Earth skills to do that here. Not air, if we're trying to maximize damage against Vinny. Doesn't matter for Aelia. And not water for Bernard, so I think the answer then is probably Raging Inferno, actually. Fire seems like that was best. Let's go this route. And we saw the Fire Guardian use this recently. Legion learned it. This is the first time Legion's getting the chance to use it themselves. And a little bit of damage to everyone. Probably would have been more if we had, say, used something that targeted Aelia specifically. But Mardek, I think you can use one of your skills here offensively, which is, I mean, yes, it would be nice to put on some shields or magic shields, but I think we want to prioritize getting Aelia down as soon as possible. I think we, well, I was going to say it might have technically been better served using a water skill, but remember, Empowers Water doesn't do anything with our current sword, so not sure that would have made a difference. Then Crescendo Slash, yes, on Aelia. Should be about 400 damage here, I think. Yes, so that poison might be enough damage to take her out on her next turn. It is. Okay, so one down, and a big one down at that. So no more support character. With one of the World Saviors down, Bartholomew will likely start to do more damage with his attacks. Remember that he deals more damage the more friends go down. However, next priority, I think, is Bernard. We were able to deal a fair bit of damage to him with the Smite Evils, but he then turned around and cursed Burn every time. So it makes it hard to deal sustained damage with Burn. Burn is next, of course. But I think if we, say, have additional people help Burn out, that might be enough. This will likely curse. Yes, it does. And then Immolate again. We should take no damage from that. Bartholomew is next. Fortunately, he misses. Now, Legion, what do we want to use on you against Bernard? The answer is nothing water and nothing dark. Nothing earth either, but I don't think we have much in the way of that. Could, say, use something like Gemsplosion. Thinking that might be the, or even Curse. Hold on. We could remove someone's ability to use skills, except you do have 100% resistance to curses. Anyone else? Oh, Venny. We could use it on you. Bartholomew, I'm not sure you're going to use many special abilities there, so why don't we try cursing Venny? So this is a bit of a long-term investment, make it so that he can't use as many skills to cause status effects. And the curse is applied. So that's, again, I think something that will bear fruit long-term. Also noticing that Legion is very low on MP now, and so it might be worth restoring some of that. However, I don't think Mardek is the best person to do that with. Burn is currently cursed, so I think it probably makes sense to do it with Burn. And Mardek, would we like you to heal, or would we like you to attack? I think the answer is we would, well, ideally like you to attack. However, if we're targeting Bernard, he's going to curse as well. And that does mean that, well, we don't really want Mardek to be cursed. But do we make a point of doing it? Oh, hold on. Morality block. Perhaps should have done this earlier. Means that we will have a no dark on, most notably. So that reaction from Bernard will not actually do anything, at least the first go-round. So say if Zach were to Crescendo Slash here, and target Bernard, that is still getting more powerful every turn, so that is still useful. And there is the null. So we'll lose it there, but at least keep Zach up and running for one more turn. Vern would have benefited from us having done that earlier, but now we could, again, use a remedy on you. I'd rather not have to go that route. Or we could restore MP on Legion. I think that is preferable here. Let's make a point of doing that. And then Bernard goes next. Thunderstorm, it is strong. It is quite strong. And wow, that hurt a lot. Vern's almost down. Zach's almost down. Fortunately, Bartholomew misses here. Mardek is almost certainly going to need to heal after this. And Legion on just 400 HP. You are perhaps also at risk of, if say Bernard were to use a reaction here, might take you down, but I think we give it a shot. 300 damage. Is there a reaction to spells? The answer appears to be no, actually. Okay, Mardek, this is very important that you heal here. I think that is roughly the amount of damage we took from that spell from Bernard, maybe a little bit more. And Zach, you are still poisoned, and you have been for a while now, but I think the Crescendo Slash is actually our primary source of offense right now. It's had enough time to charge up that it's dealing 500 damage plus per turn, and that is a ton. Oh my goodness, look at how much damage that dealt. Oh my goodness. Was that dealing so much damage to Vern? Vern has 60% dark resistance, and it was still dealing somewhere in the 400s or so damage to him. Zach, I don't think has any, and so yeah, it just annihilated Zach. So, all the more reason for us to make a point of putting on those null darks with Mardek. Vern, you are still cursed yourself. You have been for a while now, and it's probably worth making a point of bringing back Zach with the Phoenix down here. Let's bring him back immediately. Bernard, however, will go next, and we'll use Glaciate on Vern, who does not have water resistance, in fact has water weakness, so that would have been someone we would have actually rather had Bernard target Zach with that, because water heals Zach. So, how much do we prioritize? Getting Vern back here is a good question. I'm actually not entirely sure. I think that he was primarily acting as a healer and status remover, so is that something that's strictly necessary right now? It might not be. Man, Bernard, look at how much HP he has. Is he healing when he uses his reactions? I feel like he might be. I've not specifically taken note of that, but that's very concerning. Very concerning, in fact. So, what if, or did someone just use a healing potion? I completely ignored it because I was too concerned about Vern going down. That might also be the case. If we were to use another Gem Explosion, I think that is the strongest ability to deal damage against Bernard specifically. Let's try it here. Only 200 damage this time, though. Any reaction? No. Bernard does not seem to have any reactions to magic abilities, so that's a good sign. We can still morality block. Only Vern needs, or only Zach needs it right now. And we saw that it is a difference maker, having that on. So we definitely want to apply it. Benny is not too much of a concern anymore. We've almost completely nullified him by using the curse. So let's use a Crescendo Slash again. It should still be gaining power here. So eventually we'll get to the point where Zach will be one-shotting people with it. And we did null that one. Glaciate on Zach, please. Yes, it heals him. Thank you. Bartholomew, please not hit. Oh, I missed the reaction on that one. It went slower that time. Okay, so. Now, no Vern. It would have been Vern's turn there, but he's down. So we go straight to Legion. And we try another Gem Explosion on Bernard. I think we do. I think we do. I think what we're doing here is we are basically just supporting Zach and chipping away with the Gem Explosion on Legion. And Zach's Crescendo Slash getting more powerful every turn means that eventually we will whittle down Bernard's HP. Legion's actually taking a fair bit of damage here. Those Benny attacks, yeah, they do hurt a bit. Not a ton in one turn, but he's had enough chances now to start to build up some strength with it. So Bernard, now at least down to 1,000 HP. Except, oh my goodness, the Thunderstorms as well. They are tough. And look at how low everyone's HP is here. So we definitely need to bring some people back. As much as I would love to, say, put the Null Dark back on Zach, if we don't bring someone back right now, I think we are at risk of having the party wiped. I mean, any big skills is probably going to be enough to still take someone out in one hit. But who would we prioritize here? I think Phoenix Pinion is fitting right now. Get someone back with full HP. Would we rather have Vern or would we rather have Legion? I think the answer is probably Legion. Benny next. He crits to take out Zach. That's still some damage there. Glaciate on Mardek, that's gonna hurt. Enough to take out Mardek. We're in serious trouble here. Legion gets hit there. And then, well, what do we do now? Only Legion remaining. You do have some Phoenix Downs, yes. Only 2. I think you have to bring back Mardek. Mardek has the primary supply of Phoenix Downs and Phoenix Pinions. So I think we just try to bring back the party. And do we Phoenix Down? Do we Phoenix Pinion? I think maybe just Phoenix Down for now. Benny. Mardek, again, he's critting. Zach, you have the ability to Crescendo Slash. Yes, it will deal a fair bit of damage. However, you do not have a Null Dark, meaning that if you were to, say, attack Bernard with it, you would likely go down. Will Benny have any reactions? I wonder. Maybe we should target him instead. He, I think, would probably be a fair bit easier to take down. But Bernard is far more dangerous, in case that wasn't clear. As is Bartholomew at this point. So things are looking bad. Things are looking bad. Let's bring back Mardek. He's most important, for sure. He's also running out of MP here. We could Morality Block, and at least do that on Zach, and try to take down Bernard here. As soon as we can do that, things will get far easier, but we need Zach to be alive for that to happen, and Glaciate will take out Mardek. Pretty sure. Only Legion remaining. Does he have any Phoenix Downs remaining? He might not. If he does not, then we are officially toast. If he does not, we are officially toast. So, good question as to what we do here. The answer is it doesn't make much difference anymore. Legion, I'm sorry, buddy. There is no way you can pull this off anymore. You can try Gem Explosioning Bernard, yes, but not gonna have enough damage to make it happen. So where did we go wrong here? I mean, obviously, the World Saviors deliberately targeted us when we were at our weakest, hidden us when we were coming right off of the Fire Guardian battle, and so we were not healed up, we were not MP'd up, we had some status effects still on us, so we could have healed that stuff in anticipation of the fight, had we known that they were coming to fight us. We could also take out Aelia quickly, because we gave her enough time to apply physical shields, magic shields, and regen. Once all those things were up, we saw that it was really hard to take people down. Like, we dealt a ton of damage to both Aelia and particularly Bernard, and yet he was healing so much from that regen that we still couldn't get rid of him. So if we were to, say, be able to take out Aelia before she applied that regen, then we would have been able to take down Bernard, and then suddenly things would have been exponentially easier from there. So, we'll have to learn from our mistakes there. It does mean that because we did not have the opportunity to go to the Save Crystal in between the Fire Guardian and the World Saviors, that we will now have to go back to the Fire Guardian as well. So, will we find a way to take down both the Fire Guardian and the World Saviors? It's going to be tough, but we're going to need to find a way. So, with that, I'll catch you next time.